Do you truly know your cat? Without even realizing it, some of your daily actions, however well-intentioned, could be harming it and silently damaging your relationship. We are about to reveal the 19 unintentional mistakes that secretly hurt your feline and will forever change the way you understand it. To grasp the essence of a cat, you must first understand that its home is its kingdom, a territory governed by instinctive and immutable laws. It is in the arrangement of this space that the most insidious mistakes lie. For simple convenience, we tend to group its food, water, and litter box in the same corner. However, this human logic deeply offends its instincts. In nature, a cat never contaminates its water or food source with its waste, as it instinctively associates elimination areas with diseases. This forced proximity creates a biological conflict that can lead it to neglect its bowl or litter box, not out of caprice, but out of sheer anxiety for its safety. The solution is simple. Separate these three vital resources, placing the litter box in a quiet, isolated place far from where it eats. This security depends not only on the layout of its territory, but also on its perception of it, especially at night. We wrongly assume that its ability to move in the dim light means it can see in complete darkness. This is a mistake. Its eyes are remarkable light amplifiers, but they do not create light. Total darkness renders it functionally blind, increasing its anxiety. A simple nightlight or the light filtering through a window is enough to give it back control of its kingdom during its most active hours. Its relationship with water is just as instinctive. If your cat ignores its water bowl to drink from the tap, it is merely following an ancestral urge. Stagnant water is synonymous with danger and contamination, while moving water is a guarantee of freshness and purity. Cat water fountains cater to this instinct, encouraging hydration and preventing future kidney problems. The container itself is central to its well-being. Have you ever watched your cat take food out of its bowl to eat it on the floor? This is not a whim. If the bowl is too deep, its whiskers, which are extremely sensitive sensory organs, rub painfully against the sides. This whisker fatigue is a real physical discomfort. A flat plate or a very wide, shallow dish immediately solves this problem. The material of the dish is just as crucial. Plastic bowls, though economical, develop micro cracks over time where bacteria proliferate. The repeated rubbing of its chin against this contaminated surface can cause feline acne, a preventable skin condition, by choosing non-porous materials like stainless steel, ceramic, or glass. The hygiene of its litter box is equally paramount. Its sense of smell, up to 14 times more powerful than ours, turns a neglected litter box into an unbearable source of ammonia. Daily cleaning is not an option, and the golden rule is to have one more box than the number of cats, to offer them a choice and reduce territorial stress. Lastly, we organize their world in our own image, horizontally. Yet the cat is a vertical being. Climbing is a fundamental psychological need, allowing it to feel secure and survey its domain. Cat trees or simple shelves transform a flat space into a three-dimensional ecosystem that satisfies its deepest instincts. But a perfectly arranged kingdom is not enough. Once its territory is secure, your cat's well-being rests entirely on the quality of the dialogue you have with it. And it is often here, in our interactions, that the deepest wounds are hidden. When a kitten nibbles our fingers, it seems adorable. Yet, by letting it do so, we create a lasting association between its prey and our hand. The hand, that should be an exclusive source of affection and security, becomes a toy to be attacked. As the kitten grows, this game turns into an aggression problem, creating confusion and mistrust. The rule must be unchangeable. The hand caresses, the toy endures the assault. This confusion extends to the very nature of our petting. We often apply affectionate canine language, vigorous contact, hugs, to a feline, a solitary hunter by nature. For a cat, a pet against the grain or a hug that immobilizes it is not love, but aggression, an attempt at domination. Feline affection is a language of consent, centered on the cheeks and chin. Forcing contact only teaches it to be wary of our proximity. When faced with behavior we deem undesirable, our first reflex is often punishment, shouting, spraying it with water. We mistakenly believe it will associate our anger with its past action. In reality, it does not associate the punishment with the act, but with the person inflicting it. It doesn't learn not to scratch the sofa. It learns to fear the human who, without warning, becomes a source of terror. This fear is exacerbated by our own inconsistency. If one day we allow it on the table, and the next we punish it for the same act, we plunge it into a state of permanent stress. It no longer knows what is allowed, living in uncertainty. Consistency is not cruelty, but the only form of honest and reassuring communication for it. This ignorance of its nature sometimes leads us to commit physically dangerous acts, like picking it up by the scruff of the neck. While a mother cat does this, it is only with her kittens, who are light and have a reflex that immobilizes them. On an adult, this action causes intense pain and is perceived as a terrifying act of domination, similar to a bite during a fight. Even our games can become a source of frustration. The laser pointer, for example, exploits its hunting instinct but never brings it to completion. It stalks and pursues an elusive prey it can never capture. This unfinished cycle generates deep anxiety. For the game to remain a pleasure, the session must always end with the capture of a tangible object, like a toy or a treat, to provide the psychological satisfaction of the kill. This need to respect its rituals is crucial when introducing a newcomer, whether human or animal. Forcing an immediate encounter is to invade its sanctuary and ignore its need for gradual adaptation. A successful introduction begins with an exchange of scents, then visual contact from a distance before brief, supervised meetings. Patience is the key to a peaceful future coexistence. Understanding these communication errors can transform your relationship. If this guide is helpful to you and you aspire to a bond based on respect, please support our message with a simple like so it can help other cat lovers. Because to achieve the purest understanding, one must probe the very essence of its mind. A mind shaped by millions of years of evolution. Its natural rhythm of life is an immutable cycle: hunt, eat, sleep. By leaving food permanently available, we break this cycle. Without hunger, the motivation to hunt disappears. The predatory instinct, so powerful, is left without an outlet, leading to apathy or aggression. Recreate this cycle by establishing fixed meal times, preceded by an intense play session that simulates a hunt. The meal then becomes a deserved reward, balancing its body and mind. Similarly, an overabundance of toys left permanently on the floor leads to boredom. An inert, ever-present object is no longer prey. By practicing toy rotation, presenting only a few different ones each day, each object becomes an exciting novelty, a prey to be rediscovered. This stimulating environment must also be a physically safe haven. Our love for fragrant interiors can be toxic for it. The cat's liver is unable to metabolize many chemical compounds found in essential oils, houseplants like lilies, or cleaning products. What is a simple, pleasant scent to us can be a slow poison to them. Likewise, its rest is a sanctuary. Interrupting its sleep, which can last up to 16 hours a day, is not trivial. It is during these phases that its body regenerates and its brain processes information. Waking it abruptly is a shock that, when repeated, creates chronic stress and weakens its immune system. Ultimately, all these mistakes stem from one, the most fundamental of all: we forget that our cat is a cat. We interpret its actions through the prism of our human emotions, attributing intentions like revenge or spite. A cat that urinates on a bed after you leave is not expressing resentment, but extreme anxiety that pushes it to mix its scent with yours to reassure itself. A cat that scratches furniture is not destructive. It is maintaining its claws and marking its territory. A cat that runs frantically at night is releasing the energy of a crepuscular predator. And one that knocks an object over is exploring the world with its paws. These are not behavioral problems, but cat behaviors. The problem comes from our inability to provide it with suitable outlets for its instincts. The solution is never punishment, but redirection, a more attractive scratching post, days richer in play. Understanding that it does not act to defy us, but by pure nature, is the perspective shift that transforms frustration into fascination. Remembering that your cat is a cat is the greatest proof of love you can give it. Tell us in the comments which revelation surprised you the most and what change you will try today. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the heart of the enigmatic mind of our companions.